brightest minds of society. Over the years, Technovanza has effectively progressed towards its goal of taking technology to the society by meritoriously passing on the flame of expertise to light more torches. Pioneers of diverse fields, including Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Mr. Ratan Tata, Gaur Gopal Das, and many others have graced Technovanza with their presence while progressively illuminating young minds to new areas of interest. With utmost pride, we're exhilarated to bring out the final lecture of the Hourglass Conclave 5.0 while adding an extraordinary gem to our star-studded list of personages. Our guest today is the builder extraordinaire and the man responsible for changing the skyline of Mumbai. Today, we are pleased to welcome the phenomenal Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani. Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani is a co-founder and managing director of Hiranandani Group of Companies. He completed his schooling at Campion School, Mumbai, and graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce degree honors with the distinction of standing second in Mumbai University. Adding to his professional qualification, he completed his FCA from the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and he completed his doctorate in philosophy with a thesis in Housing Revolution in India, Challenges and Prospects. With his profound knowledge, sharp business acumen, and ambitious attitude, he has been conferred with the leadership role across various prominent business organizations and chambers by industry pundits. From being a Forbes-listed top Indian rich real estate developer to co-founder of India's top real estate company, there is much more to add to his profile. Sir, this small introduction wouldn't do enough justice to your numerous accomplishments. The impact that you created on the next generation of professionals is the very result of your perseverance and simplicity. We're truly honored to have you as our guest. We also have with us here today the Director of VJTI, Dr. Dhiren Patel, sir, and the Dean of Student Activities and Alumni, Dr. Rohin Daruwala, sir. Director, sir, would you like to say a few words?
I think I'm fine, but anyway, okay. So, welcome to VJTI. We will be very happy to welcome Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani as a distinguished speaker today in Hourglass Conclave 5.0. As VJTI, my vision and rather everybody's vision is to improve the teaching, learning, research and innovation ecosystem and taking technology to society. Our brand VJTI is highly reputed and we see lots of young students are coming into VJTI as their main, career stepping stone with the lots of inspiration and aspiration. In this pandemic time, we are operating from working from home. This teaching learning is happening and evaluation has become a great challenge. But at the same time, the opportunities have come and the opportunities have come in terms of we could able to engage anybody whom we want to engage with our students, and as a result we are getting lots of dignitaries who are coming on this platform and talking to our student or interacting with them. So I'm sure that this today's Hourglass Conclave would be much more fruitful, and we are looking forward to further fruitful association with Hiranandani Group and VJTI. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. For our audience, we will have a Q&A session after the lecture. So please leave your questions in the live chat below. Without any further ado, let's be part of a conversation of a shared future with the guidance of clearly the best. Sir, passing it on to you now.
A very good evening to each and every one of you. Dr. Dhiren Patel, thank you very much for this invitation. Nice to have Mr. Dr. Rohin Daruwala. And thank you, Sai, for your generous introduction. It's my privilege to have come back to VJTI. I come back simply because in the same month of 2019, I had the opportunity to speak to a whole quadrangle of students in VJTI, and it was such a joy meeting each and every one physically. Of course, with technology changes and the opportunities that have come across, I am now sitting in my home on our hill, and we are able to communicate and be able to interact with each other. This change itself indicates an opportunity for each and every one of us. All the ideas being the challenges and the nuances create opportunity for what they call entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are all about these opportunities that are created. Abdul Kalam is what you mentioned just now, Sai, and I'm very happy to tell you that Abdul Kalam also talked about being job creators and not job seekers alone. And this is an opportunity which each and every one of us has here today. I've been a chartered accountant by qualifications, but being in the construction industry, it has been an opportunity for me to actually change into an entrepreneur. So to some extent, I do have the personal experiences that I have to share with you in some of these lines and ideas, and to also take out opportunities of what is happening with so many other leaders in the entire world. And I do hope that these will enthuse each and every one of you to see new lines of opportunity that is there. Challenges are challenges, but when you convert these challenges into opportunities, that is when you become an entrepreneur. So the definition of entrepreneur is more defined during COVID times. And these are the changes which you should treat as an opportunity in our lives rather than worrying about the negatives that such COVID times and difficult times actually bring to you. Now, the first thing when you want to become an entrepreneur over a period of time is to think about how you can actually do and study more than your chosen field of study. So if I'm a chartered accountant, or if you're an engineer, then if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to start looking at other aspects of skills that you really need to imbibe over a period of time. Nobody has all the skills together, but an entrepreneur gets an idea of picking up many skills as he goes around his whole life. In my time, it was very, very difficult in order to become an entrepreneur because there was no such thing as startups. There were no such things as incubators. There was no other idea of technology-driven ideas of entrepreneurships and incubators. Today, we have more than 150 university incubators that we have. And these 150 incubators have created more than 900 new companies in the last 5 years. So the opportunity in this day and time, statistically and in reality, has been much more easier than during my time, because there was no such opportunity for incubators. There was no such time and opportunity where startups were being funded. But India was always a country of entrepreneurship. So if you have better opportunity today to become an entrepreneur, it's easier. But remember that we and all people have been entrepreneurs in this country much before the startup culture and opportunity came about what it is there. So today we do find, and I think it is important for campuses like VJTI, IIT, various other colleges and institutions to work through the startup system and incubation that we need to do. I'm sure that this will become an opportunity for students who are there in our colleges and in our university. India, as I said, is a land of opportunity. And the new age and time, and I'm going to go back to the older age and time also, the youngest entrepreneur in India today is Tilak Mehta, who at age 16 is the founder of the app-based courier service in Mumbai known as Papers and Parcels. Then we have another entrepreneur in India, Ritesh Agarwal, age 27, who set up the OU. That's another entrepreneur. We also have Sri Lakshmi Suresh, age 23, founder of eDesign and Tiny Logo, being the youngest CEO and youngest web designer in the world. Can you imagine? That's an Indian. Then we have Trishin Arora, age 27, founder of Tax Security. Also, I want to give a distinction. In India, we have people who have been aged, but still they have been entrepreneurship. My favorite is, of course, Captain Nair of the Leela Hotel. At the age of 62, he decided, he was captain in the army, he got into textiles as a business. And at age 62, he decided to set up a chain of luxury hotels. And at the age of 92, he died, I believe, at age 92, he had 7 of the best hotels in the entire world. So you can quite imagine the entrepreneurship in our country doesn't only belong to the young and the startups and others. It has been there for ages, and we have many cases like that. Mr. Dhirubhai Ambani set up the Reliance Industries Hotel, and now today his son becomes the richest man in India. And this is not many years ago. It's about 45, 50 years ago when Reliance actually started the entrepreneurship journey. So India is a land of opportunities. You have got people yesterday who did entrepreneurship, and these opportunities have come. There are now opportunities, and it is more now easier to have these new opportunities than it was in my day and time when we became entrepreneurs in this country. This is one thing which I wanted to share with you. The opportunities are there. How do I take it? And what is it that brings to the table? So now I will shift from the idea of what my personal experiences have brought to the table. And what is it that makes people like Mr. Ambani, like Captain Nair, or any other entrepreneur to become successful? The first thing is he has to see where is the opportunity, where is the gap in the thing. In this day and time, of course, a technology-driven opportunity has a faster pace of success and is likely to get more investments. So after you have identified your project or your opportunity, if it is further technology-driven, there is a greater opportunity for us in order to make this happen much more easier. The second thought in my mind about successful entrepreneur is to take things closest to your heart. I remember when we started in the real estate business, I used to make many buildings, but they were single buildings. But at the end of the day, it left me quite unsatisfied. And I really realized that we needed to create something which would actually satisfy myself. I wanted to create a project where the buildings, the schools, the colleges, the hospitals, the gardens, the commercial, the residential, all would be in one background, which would really do it. And ultimately today, Hiranandani Gardens or Hiranandani Estate in Thane or Hiranandani Gardens in Powai is it. So one of the thoughts is that the entrepreneur should think, of course, through his mind and through the budgets and through the calculations of spreadsheets that you do, but it should also have a thing which is close to your heart. Once you have that, then you are able to exert yourself much, much more than you would be able to do normally. Because entrepreneurship is not easy. It requires a lot of hard work and a commitment to excellence. So you have to constantly remember that if you want to be an entrepreneur, pick up something which is a target closest to your heart. Think of solutions that are possible to do, but always, always, always remember, keep it close to your heart in order to make it successful and be able to overcome the hurdles that we could possibly do. Once it is closest to your heart, I assure you one thing, that you can put in a lot of hard work, and even when troubles do come, you actually push yourself to overcome it, because there is no project and no entrepreneur who has not gone through some sort of pain to do it. Look at the idea of what is geo in the Ambani field of it. I'm giving you an opportunity on the other side. I remember attending, I think it was about 12, 15 years ago, when there was a function where Mr. Mukesh Ambani was there. And at that point of time, the mobile cost, 12, 14 years ago, the mobile cost was nearly 33 rupees a minute talk time. And he made an announcement that day that he would make the calls cheaper to the extent of less than 1 rupee a minute. Everybody scoffed at his idea and never believed that such a thing could ever happen in the mobile industry, because we were paying 33 rupees a minute. And this was crazy. So we found slowly but surely the technology changed, the opportunities changed, and finally we have talk time, which has become so cheap, less than 1 rupee a minute. And in some cases, when it is bundled with other services, talk time is even free. So this is something which I have learned over a period of time. And I think once you have an opportunity and a thought process to work towards it, it's a great one. And the Geo example is, of course, one of the best India has even been able to get. The other thoughts which really improve myself in the work that I do is something which I want to share with my young friends. And it's very, very interesting way to be successful. The idea came from over a period of time, learning from examples of other people. And slowly I have come to a conclusion that if today I keep on bettering myself every single day of my life, maybe just 1% every day, over a period of time, I can do great work. If you're playing tennis, if you're playing a game, if you're writing an essay, if you're doing a project, if you're building a building, if you're making a road, if you're doing any activity that you are, commit to yourself that the next time you do this activity, you're going to do it at least 1% better. If I made a speech last time to VJTI students, I must commit myself that today's speech, I should make an effort to speak better than what I did last time. If you learn to do this activity, and it is extremely important for all people who actually are doing any sort of work, not necessarily being an entrepreneur. If you do anything, if you're teaching, if you're working, if you're doing service, how can I improve my work output 1% better the next time I take up this work? And this is something every great person does. I've watched Mr. Amitabh Bachchan over a period of years, and I see that his commitment level to his work has always improved over a period of years. And it's quite a shocking thing. He's in his late 70s, and it's fantastic to see a person at that age and time also commit himself to improve himself every time, and delivering better and better every time that he picks up any activity. And he's gone through his ups and downs in life, but he always endeavors to keep on improving himself. The other interesting thing that I have found about entrepreneurs is the fact, and even other people who are very successful, is that they continue to be learners all their life. Now, many of us finish your education, whether it's my chartered accountancy, your engineering, your MBAs, whatever is the learning that you do, we tend to put an end to learning because we already have a job, or we are already into an entrepreneur activity, and we know the subject fairly well and we have learned it. But over a period of years, one of the biggest things that I learned from my illustrious father, is no more now. He was an ENT surgeon, a very reputed one, Padma Bhushan, Dhanvantri Award winner, and extremely successful. At the age of 82, one day, he tells me at top of the morning that, Niranjan, I'm going to go to Germany to learn a new operation. And I said, Dad, are you crazy? At the age of 82, you want to go and learn a new operation? I'm pretty shocked. So he said, yes, I do. And believe you me, at age 82, he went to Germany, learned a new operation, though he himself was very learned. And in fact, he created a lot of operation techniques himself. He went to learn this new operation even at age 82. So one thing I have learned, whether you're in profession, whether you're in teaching, whether you're in any other activity, it's good and great to be a learner all the time, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, remember, you have to continue to be a learner all the time. This is something which I've learned. The other thing which is very interesting on my observation of successful people, not necessarily entrepreneurs, successful people, is that they get involved in the activity very passionately. Research is also all about that. Many people get into research and then work out, have failures, but those who really work passionately on them are the ones who succeed not once, not twice, but all the time. Of course, they have failures in between, and they do not have successful innings every time they play cricket, or every time they do an activity, every time that they go and do something of a performance that they need to do. But they continue to work hard and excel and put a passion behind the whole thing that is done. All people from time to time can be successful provided they have the gut and the perseverance to do so. So can we all persevere at what activity that we are doing? Your institution is 150 years old or close to that. In spite of that, the activity continues to grow and keeps on improving from time to time. You have to use the platform of what you learn and to use that as a springboard for success. There's no point in resting on the laurels of your education or other talent that you have. Some people are more talented than others, but the person who continues to improve will beat all the rest of the others because he or she will continue to be improving himself. We have a large number of examples in India which have shown us such examples of improvement. Abdul Kalam, an ordinary person from an ordinary family with very great difficulty in education, became a great scientist. Not only that, he was made the president of India, and he continued to teach and learn from various people. Great examples of people who continued to work all their lives into various forms of activity. There is no end to this kind of improvement that you can do if you're passionate to do that. I cannot but give even other examples, and plenty of such examples in our country, of people who have done fantastically in various forms of activity, coming from very poor backgrounds, inadequate backgrounds, having very little resources, and still being able to do great things in various forms of activity, including entrepreneurship that may be there. But it's not necessary that such qualities and activity can better themselves only to become an entrepreneur. You can do any other activity which would do it. And all these aspects of life which make good and great entrepreneurs can be applicable to any other profession or any other activity or any other service that we are like to bring to this. It's only an example that I can share with you, that you will not be successful as an entrepreneur, but you will be successful in life as a whole if you follow some of these learnings which I have been able to imbibe from great people in our country. And I keep on learning from it even today. And of course, before I take the question answers, the best example of all is our beloved Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi. Can you imagine just being a chaiwala, now working towards, became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, did such huge amount of infrastructure development of Gujarat, industrialization, bringing about solar power in Gujarat region, one of the first chief ministers to see alternative energy to be done in such a broad spectrum manner, and to industrialize the state, which was not so much advanced before his time, and now to take up the leadership of the country and become the prime minister. An ordinary, humble man who can do, who has no other great education like you and I have got. So you have a bigger and better and easier springboard of opportunity to become great, to take up various things, including entrepreneurship, to take up any activity that you do, but do it passionately, do it well, do it with all your heart. Keep on looking at new ideas, looking at new technologies, lots and lots of opportunities that are there. I'm sure that the students of VJTI will stand apart in this country in lots of activity that it's going to do. And we will be proud to know that, yes, these were the students of 2021 who were here at VJTI at that time and have now gone ahead to be great entrepreneurs, great people, professionals, and otherwise who have done a great job in our country. So I wish you the very best to each and every one of you.
Thank you, sir, for such an insightful lecture.